Hi,
Hello.
welcome to So You Think You're Iconic, the movie podcast, where nothing is going my way today
Yeah,
at all.
it's not Jordan's day today.
It's not my day. But really, what is my day?
It's either things go okay or it's just a garbage fire.
Right?
There is no in between.
We're looking at garbage fire today.
All right.
But you know what? I've been through worse.
True. True.
We can get through today.
Yeah.
How was your week, Kelly?
It was pretty good. For some reason it felt really long. I have no idea why. I had an interview on Monday. It went well.
Did I also have one on Monday? I think so. I
Yeah, and then you
I
had one on Wednesday.
I literally don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had one on Monday, it went really well. I'm still waiting to hear back on other jobs, so like this job's okay, and I'll take it if
If you don't get anything else.
yeah.
I'm
But I am waiting on another job that like I really want instead. So hopefully we hear back.
getting at it to a point where I don't care anymore. I've applied to so many jobs, I literally don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you? How was your week?
Uh, Other than the interviews that went nowhere, it was fine. Um, on Saturday, I went to like the zip line slash rope course slash rock climbing place
Hmm.
for my sister's birthday. It was very fun.
Oh, it was her birthday?
Yeah, I think her birthday was on Friday.
You you think
I know the date of her birthday. I was just trying to remember when it happened last week.
yeah. 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 And we've been having really great weather where we are.
Hmm.
So,
Well, not today, but
well, not today. This week kind of well, at least where I am, it won't be as hot
yeah, it's not going to be as hot.
until like the weekend. We'll get to like 79 this weekend.
But yeah, it was really fun. I went rock climbing, made it all the way to the top.
Let's go.
It was actual rock climbing, like it was like on like a rock wall, like an actual wall of rock. It was
Ooh.
great. Um, and then we did like this rope course thingy. And then we get up there, and my sister's like, "I'm scared. I want to get down." And I'm like, "Well, there's like 50 people behind us, so we have to go forward. Like, I
Yep.
don't know what to tell you. You should have known you were afraid of heights before we got up here." And so she just had to push through. And I was like, yep,
Oh, she did it though.
she did it.
Good on her.
I can't say that for another girl who was on like the easier rope course. Like literally, she was like hugged up on to the like pole, and she like refused to move. And like
Oh
everyone around could like hear her screaming. She was just like, "No, no!"
no.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh, what do you do in that situation?"
Yeah. At that point, you just have to keep going because you can't go back.
Yeah, you can't go back. And then, oh, there also was this thing where it was this they like hook you to a rope and then you just jump off a cliff. And I did it.
What?
It took me a minute. Like I was like,
Yeah.
uh
Yeah.
and then the guy was like, "It's fine. Like when you jump, like it'll catch you in like a second." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I jumped. And I was like,
Because like it has to click in your mind that you're going to be okay. Like
"Yeah.
you forget that you're in like a harness and all these ropes. You're just
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna die if I jump off this thing.
Yeah.
And then someone's like, you know what, it's fine. If you like tug on the rope, you're okay. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm
Okay."
totally fine.
And so I jumped and I was scared for like 0.2 seconds, but then like the rope caught me and I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'm good."
Yeah. Yeah. That happens to me when I go ziplining because like I forget because they're like, yeah, you need to like jump up for a second. So like before you grab onto the thing, I'm like, I'm gonna
Oh, I've
fall.
never had a problem with ziplining.
Really? For some
Yeah.
reason, like the initial, like if it's a course, like the first one, like when they tell you to just like sit down and like
Hmm.
grab onto the thing before they like push you down. Like for some reason, my brain is like, you're going to fall, you're gonna fall, you're gonna fall.
Yeah, I was
And so it takes
fine.
me forever to like lower myself, and then I'm like, oh no, fine.
Yeah, it was fun. There was like a giant group of like multiple families there with a whole bunch of little kids. And so it took us forever to get through like our certification to make sure we knew how to unhook and hook
Oh yeah.
ourselves. And then so it cut into our time. But it was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
Felt bad for the workers.
Yeah. Had to deal with screaming children. Couldn't be me. But
Yeah, it
yeah,
would not be me.
literally at one point when I was like first trying to get a job when I was like 16, I tried to get a job at what is the name of the place? It's like this place that has a whole bunch of like jumpers inside of it. And it's literally
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
literally for children. I don't know why
Yeah.
I tried to get a
We
job
have
there. I
we
don't
have
like
something like
kids.
that around here. You and kids.
And I think they could tell. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you were smart for not hiring me.
Yeah.
Like it was for the best for all of us.
It really was. It really
It
was.
really was. And so yeah, that was my week. Okay. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. My first bullet point is like half a page long because like the introduction to this movie is ridiculously long.
It is.
We're doing The Mummy this week.
Yes, we
1999
are.
version, not the Tom Cruise version.
Not the Tom Cruise one.
We don't speak
We haven't
about
seen
that.
the Tom Cruise one, but we've seen the trailer, and that's a definite no.
I've seen the Tom Cruise one.
Oh, you actually saw the Tom Cruise one?
Mm-hmm. In theaters. I
Oh,
paid to see it.
You paid to see it. Oh, sorry.
Rough times.
Rough times.
We only acknowledge this one and the second one. We don't acknowledge any of the spin-offs. We don't acknowledge the third one.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, the movie starts off in the ancient CGI city of Thebes.
Yes, Thebes.
The way I wrote it, it was like and we're introduced via narration to Pharaoh Seti the First, the high priest Imhotep, and the Pharaoh's mistress slash concubine slash side piece,
Yeah.
all of that put into one. Anaksu Namon. We are told that no man is allowed to touch her, and so her entire body is covered in paint.
Yeah. Yeah. Gold paint, and then there's like these intricate little black, like chain looking things on her arms.
So that if she's touched, the Pharaoh can tell.
Yeah. And apparently that's actually true.
What's
like
true?
in ancient times, if like Pharaoh didn't want anybody touching his women, they would put intricate paintings on their bodies so that if any of it was messed up, people would know.
What if another woman touched them? Like there is like, do women not touch each other in this world? What's happening?
I don't know. Like, what if you accidentally like trip
Brush
or
up
something?
against a wall or something?
Yeah.
Like anything could happen.
Right. What if it's a little too hot that day and you're sweating
and you start
just, like,
and then all of a sudden you're getting beheaded because they're like, no wait, Egyptians didn't do beheadings. You're being, I don't know, have your tongue cut out, whatever they did.
Something. You're cursed. I don't know.
Yeah, because you had a bad day. Like, that sucks.
I could feel that though. My bad days ending up with me being killed somehow. I could.
Oh, that would definitely happen to me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like it wasn't even my fault. It's just.
Yeah.
That's just the cherry on top, me just dying.
Well, either way, Anaksunamon and Imhotep are secretly in love. And one day when they're making out, he like brushes against her arm. And he
does not brush up against her. He like manhandles her shoulder.
I was being kind of nice because like he grabbed her arm very hard and like seemingly purposefully rubbed.
Yeah.
And so the Pharaoh comes in and sees that Anaksunamon has been touched, and so he's angry. And so Imhotep comes in and they both murder him.
Yes.
Fine. And then the Pharaoh's guards, the Magi, go after Imhotep, and Anaksunamon stays behind so that he can get away. And then she kills herself because
Yeah.
Imhotep promises he will resurrect her. Anaxunamun tells the Magi that her body is no longer the pharaoh's temple, kills herself, and then Imhotep steals her body out of her crypt and takes her to Hamunaptra, the city of the dead, where they plan to use the Black Book of the Dead to bring Anaxunamun back to life.
Like, can I just say good on you, Inoxunamun? Like, she's like, my body is no longer the pharaoh's, and then just takes herself out. Like,
Great way to die.
great way to die. Great way to go
die.
out.
Great way to go out. During Imhotep's ritual, the Magi interrupt the ceremony and they bury him alive with flesh-eating scarabs. I was very sad to learn those do not exist.
Yeah, they don't.
Ooh,
That sounds fun.
that sounds fun. And he's watched over by the Magi to keep him from returning. I had a little problem
Okay.
when I was watching this. So they're trying to bring her back. Yeah. But like all of her
Yeah.
internal organs are not in her body. They're like in those glass clay jars,
Yeah.
like right next to her body. How is that gonna work? No organs, just vibes. How is that gonna work?
Maybe it's like the whole concept, no thoughts, head empty. Like,
Oh, but
just
like
soul, no organs.
seriously empty? Like literally
Seriously empty.
no stomach, no pancreas, no kidneys, no
Yeah.
lungs.
Yeah. I think
Living on a prayer,
literally living on a prayer.
Literally.
Maybe at that point, would that make her like immortal? Because she would just be like a soul in a body, and technically you could not kill her.
Sure.
Don't know how that really works, but
I mean, they bring, spoiler alert, in the second movie,
Yeah.
they bring her back to life,
yeah,
but she's in like another person's body.
yeah,
So I don't know how it would have worked the first time.
yeah.
And
Maybe
then
I don't.
when they try to bring her back again, I
Mhm.
think they try to put her in Evie's body.
Yeah, yeah, because they're like, I don't know but I don't remember what they said about it, but they're like ancestors or whatever, or like they're super compatible, and so like
Yeah, it made no sense. And then with the second movie, it makes even less sense. So
yeah,
yeah. Anyway, we cut to Hamunaptra in 1926, where Rick O'Connell is facing off with an army of men with his sidekick. Is Benny his sidekick, guide, whatever he was? Benny. Ugh,
I hate
garbage person. And they're
Garbage.
also fighting with a group of Frenchmen. I don't know if they're actually French, but O'Connell spoke French to them, so I assume they were French. Benny runs off because he's a coward. Well,
Yeah.
O'Connell and the Frenchmen try to kill all the men, but there's literally what looked like hundreds of them, and only like
Yeah.
20 of the men. So
they should have died out there.
They did die. O'Connell was the only one who lived.
Well, true. And he only survived by weird Egypt magic.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a specific
magical sand
term for that. Magical sand.
So Benny runs into a tomb and locks O'Connell out. And so O'Connell is running around and he steps in front of a statue of Anubis, and it scares away all the other people. And so O'Connell is able to get away.
Yeah, I think they felt the vibes.
Yeah.
Because there's no other explanation.
You know, like when you like walk into a class or something and you just know the teacher is bad. You just know. Like those type of vibes.
Yeah. And then you're just like, man, this is going to be a long semester.
Like you sit down, you look at the syllabus and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's how O'Connell was. That's how those other people were feeling. They were like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And then so we then go to a museum of antiquities in Cairo 3 years later and meet Evie.
I love her.
She's sorting philosophical books when she accidentally knocks over every single bookcase in the library because she is an idiot.
Yeah.
she tried to reach a bookcase from
On the
another
opposite side.
bookcase
Yeah.
on a ladder. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
gonna end well.
Yeah, like it probably wouldn't have been exactly how it happened for her if she like fell,
Yeah.
because those bookcases are totally heavy and very well secured, but the way that she leans back on the ladder thinking she could do it and then doesn't immediately know that this is a bad idea, because she like keeps trying to put the book back until she's literally the ladder is standing straight up. And then she doesn't even try to reach for safety. She just freaks out for a second and then just knocks
Yeah.
everything over.
Knocked every single book over.
And I feel like I would do that if something bad would happen to me like that.
I feel like I'm smart enough to know not to do that.
I know, but like something would go on and I wouldn't be paying attention and I'd think, oh, that's fine. And then I'd knock every bookshelf over and then I would be promptly fired.
And then so I think he's the curator of the museum. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so.
But his name is Dr. B, and it's spelled like B, how you would say B for Beyonce, B-E-Y. So I'm going to call
Oh,
him Dr.
really?
Beyonce.
Okay. We
Dr.
we accept that.
Dr. Beyonce comes in. I'm kidding. I will call him Dr. B. And he, of course, yells at her because
Hmm.
she's apparently super accident prone.
Yes.
And then he states that he only puts up with her because her parents were the museum's finest patrons and that she needs to fix this mess.
Yes.
After he leaves, Evie hears a noise in the museum and goes to investigate, where she finds her brother Jonathan in a sarcophagus, and he pops up a dead body to scare her. You
I
know,
would
like
have
you do.
murdered. I would have murdered my brother if he ever pulled something like that on
Oh, that
me.
would have at least been a punch to the face.
Yes,
Sorry, I
definitely.
can't control my hands when I get scared.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Someone's getting decked.
Yeah, that's the minimum of what will
That is
happen.
the bare minimum.
Bare minimum. And then so Jonathan gives her something that he says that he found in Thebes, so they go to show it to Dr. B, and they believe that it can lead them to Hamunaptra, and it also has a map inside of it.
Mhm.
Dr. B burns off the part of the map with Hamunaptra on it and discourages them from going to look for it.
The way he burned the map,
Was so obviously on
it was
purpose.
so obvious. It was the worst acting he could have done. He's like looking at it, and you just see him like literally
Lean
throw the
towards the
corner into
candle.
the fire.
Yeah.
And then he's just all like, oh, oops. And then just kind of
Oops.
drops it.
It's like
Oh my gosh.
first off, it was very obvious he did it on purpose. Secondly, he is a archaeologist. An archaeologist knows better than to put anything
Yeah.
near a flame.
Right. Right. And he's dealt with I'm sure multiple like antiques and
Yeah,
stuff like that from being a freaking curator. So of course he knows how to handle things. So
yeah.
he's just like, "Oh, this is bad. I'm gonna chuck it in the fire."
I did hate how in this movie they were supposed to be archaeologists, but they kept touching stuff with their bare hands. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Yeah. You're like sanitized space, gloves.
Like, I know this is the 30s, but y'all had
Yeah.
gloves in the 30s. Come on.
Right. Right. I'm sure y'all had some kind of wherewithal to know that you shouldn't be touching old like papyrus and stuff with your bare
Yeah,
hands.
getting all that finger oil all over it.
Yeah.
And then so Evie and Jonathan go to Cairo to a prison because Jonathan actually got the artifact because he stole it from O'Connell at a bar. And so now they need O'Connell to find Hamunaptra.
Yes.
O'Connell says that he will help them go to the city if they can get him out of prison.
Hmm.
And then he kisses Evie for no reason.
Well, he was about to die.
Yes.
He tries to explain it away later, but we
The
love
guard,
consent in this house.
yeah, consent. The guards take O'Connell to be hanged for his crimes. Crimes we never learn about. They just say he had a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah.
What does that
And they
mean?
say crimes with an S, so it's more than one. And
Yeah,
it's enough to get him hung.
right?
Like, that's how bad it is. Like, I just at least want to know at least one or two that's on that list
Yeah, one of them.
to warrant death.
Exactly, death.
Because that's serious.
I think they would just want to kill him because he was a white
Yeah,
man.
probably.
Yeah. And then so when he's being strung up, Evie is talking to the warden, Hassan, to release O'Connell. She's like, I'll give you $500. And then he says no. And so he has O'Connell hung, but it doesn't break his neck. And so while he's choking to death, Evie brings up that he knows where Hamunaptra is and that he can have, what was it, 25% of whatever is found
Yeah.
if he lets O'Connell go.
Also, the pure luck that O'Connell's neck didn't immediately snap.
Yeah.
They got lucky.
He has a strong neck.
Yeah. He got
Neck game strong.
Neck strong.
Neck game.
That's gonna be one of our hashtags for this post.
Yeah.
Hashtag neck game strong.
Hashtag neck game strong.
If you can't survive a hanging,
What are you even doing?
Yeah, what are you even doing?
You cannot gloat about your neck game if you can't survive a hanging.
Yeah, don't tell me you work out unless you can like survive a hanging.
Yeah.
Don't
you hear that, Gym Bros?
Gym Bros.
Don't skip neck day.
Someone's gonna come out with a O'Connell hanging workout.
There's a shirt with O'Connell hanging on it. It says, "Don't skip neck day."
Don't skip neck day. Come on, gym bros and dudes.
And I love that before he got hung, the guy who was about to hang him was like, "You have any last requests?" He was like, "To not be hung." And then, and then he had to ask if that was okay. He was like, he doesn't want to be hung.
Okay.
He was like, that's not how this works.
Yeah. He's like, I'd love to not hang you, but this, we are who we are.
We got to do what we got to do.
This is my job, so
right.
I don't get paid unless I hang you. So
I have 3 kids.
Man. I got 3 kids. I got a wife at home. She's always ripping on me to get more money.
She's like, why aren't you hanging more people? I want a new fridge. Did they have fridges in the 30s?
I'm sure they were called ice boxes at that point.
Oh, my grandpa still calls the fridge an ice box.
Does he?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, let's go back to the story.
Yes.
And so sometime later, Jonathan and Evie meet O'Connell at the Giza port, and he's bathed and has his hair cut. And so now Evie is attracted to him.
He do be looking good.
The 3 of them, along with Hassan, because, he wants to protect his investment.
Yes.
Even though he didn't invest anything. All he did was not kill O'Connell.
Not kill O'Connell. That was a lot for him.
Yeah. Now he has to pay that hanging guy, even though no one died.
Mm-hmm.
So they get on a boat along with a bunch of other explorers. And then Evie and O'Connell are talking about what they believe is in Hamunaptra, and she is disgusted when she asks why he kissed her, and he says, because I was about to be hung.
Yeah. Not a great explanation.
I mean, no, it's not the greatest, but I understand.
Yeah, like we get it, but you should also have asked.
Yeah. And then when Evie leaves O'Connell, he spots Benny, who is taking the Americans on board to Hamunaptra, and throws him overboard because he almost let him die.
He deserves that.
Oh, truly. He deserves everything that happens to him.
Yes, he does.
While Evie is in her room, a member of the Magi sneaks into her bathroom through the window and demands the map and the artifact, which he calls the key.
Can I just say that this particular Magi got it really bad And during these like
Oh.
scenes that come up,
Yeah.
like homie was just trying to get his stuff, and
He was just trying to save the world.
yeah, he really was, and it gets put on fire and all that. It's just
Yeah,
he
so
deserves a break.
yeah, O'Connell comes in and the two escape after a fire starts because they knock over a lamp or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a shootout that happens. O'Connell throws Evie overboard.
Mm-hmm.
And after a fight with that same Magi member,
Yep.
O'Connell jumps off the boat. While all of this is happening, Jonathan was able to grab the artifact, and then he jumps off the boat along with the Americans.
Yeah, there's a lot going on during the scene.
A lot happened.
Mm-hmm. There's a fire breaking out on the boat. People are jumping
out.
out.
People
There's
are
a
jumping
shootout.
out.
The Magi are just going off on people.
Yeah. The next day, the group buys some camels and heads towards Hamunaptra.
What O'Connell says about the camels.
What did he
when
say?
Jonathan's like, I don't. He's like complaining about how much the camels cost, and O'Connell's like, bro, we could have got him for free. He just wanted your sister. Like, no, no, don't do that.
We need camels.
Jordan.
I'm kidding. I don't believe in trading people for things.
Sells off Nyla to get a few camels.
Oh, promising idea. Promising idea.
You get two things out of the deal. You get camels and peace of mind. But,
Peace of mind.
You know.
I'll give her to a good captor.
Yeah, you'll at least check him out, make sure he's not too creepy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be fine.
Yeah, she'll definitely be fine. I'm sorry, Nyla.
And so the group of Americans catch up with them, and they watch as the sunrise reveals the location of the city. The two groups.
That was very like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
With the sunrise
with
revealing.
The sun thingy, yeah.
Those are both very cool, but I'm just like, wow. Very Pirates of the Caribbean.
And then so the two groups then race to see who can get to the city first for $500. Evie and O'Connell make it to the city first, but we never see them get their money.
Yeah. Also, how fast can camels go?
I don't think they can go faster than horses. I was very confused, but
Yeah, but maybe horses have a harder time running on sand. I don't know.
Maybe. What happens next? Oh, yeah. So they get there, the two teams split up to try to find artifacts. Evie finds like a cave and then uses a bunch of mirrors to illuminate the inside of the tomb so they can explore it. No, there's no electricity.
No.
In the middle of the desert. And then so while the rest of the group try to find a compartment in the legs of Anubis, Hassan goes off and he finds a bunch of what would you call them? Petrified scarabs?
Maybe. I feel like that's the only thing that like makes sense. Would be that, or like I don't want to say encompassed because they're just like covered with something.
Yeah, like a layer of something is over their body.
Yeah, so like they're petrified on the inside, but then they're like covered with something else.
Yeah. Well, either way, he finds them.
Yes.
The Americans, along with a man named Dr. Chamberlain, have some native Egyptian men open a tomb, and it shoots out a gas that burns and kills them.
They basically just sacrificed those poor guys.
They did. Because literally the Americans were going to open it, and then Chamberlain was like, no, let the Egyptian men do it.
Yeah. he knew something was up, and so
He
did the
knew it.
Egyptians, because
Yeah.
like the Egyptians were like standing so far away with all their tools. They're like, I am not going near that.
Yeah.
I am not. And then Chamberlain's like, nah, we're gonna sacrifice these guys.
Yeah. Who needs them?
Who needs them?
So while that is happening, Evie and O'Connell are talking while Jonathan is hitting rocks and ends up
Yeah.
knocking a sarcophagus out from above them. Hassan is still taking his scarabs. And one of
I
them,
don't know how long he's been doing that.
he'd been doing that for a very long time.
Because if Jonathan got bored enough to start like playing like golf or baseball with like rocks around the place, then he's been gone. It's been a while.
Yeah. And can he not read hieroglyphics?
I don't know.
Because it looked like there was a warning on that wall where he was like scraping them off of, and he just kept doing it. Well,
Maybe he just didn't care. Maybe he was just like, these are probably going to fetch me a lot of money, so let's just take them out.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, he's scraping out the scarabs. One of them cracks out of its casing and it eats its way through his body. Like it starts at his shoe, eats through his shoe, goes up his leg, up his chest, into his brain.
Yeah, that still freaks me out whenever I see it, because you can just see it right underneath the skin, just crawling.
Yeah.
Not for me.
I would be more terrified of it going to my brain. Like if it started going to my brain, I'm like, oh my gosh, please kill me. Please.
Bruh, I mean, how would you even go about trying to get it out from under your skin?
I don't know. I would just be freaking out the entire time.
Yeah.
And then so we cut back to the group, and Evie is about to use the key to open the sarcophagus when Hassan runs in screaming, and then he runs into a wall and dies.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the force of which he like...
Well, he ran like headfirst into it.
Yeah.
So maybe...
Yeah, like we don't know if it was the force of which he hit his head against the like wall, or if it was the scarab that killed him first.
Maybe it was both.
Maybe it was both.
Maybe the scarab caused some internal bleeding, and then like hitting the wall did not help.
Yeah, because like the sound that he makes hitting the wall,
it's like a crunching sound.
Yeah, it was a big thwack. So I don't know.
And so they forget about him very quickly, because that night they're just sitting around the fire like talking. And then the Magi come and attack the two groups. And then after some fighting, the leader of the Magi, who we never learn his name, we literally never learn his name until the second movie.
Don't. Yeah, you're right.
He does not have a name in this movie.
Oh, that's weird.
That's actually one of the movie facts, that he does not have a name in this movie.
Wow, and he's kind of a major character in the end of the movie.
Yep. I could have used his character's name from the second movie, but we're not doing the second movie.
We're not doing the second movie.
Yay.
Oh, wait. So what do they call him? Like, because I guess I wasn't paying that much attention, and I never have, that he doesn't have a name. So do they call him anything?
They don't call him anything.
Oh. So that like Magi leader or whatever. They just don't say anything towards him?
No. That's why I just called him the Magi leader, because he's the only Magi that like really talks, and then yeah, he might not even be the leader. He probably
we have no idea.
No idea. Well, either way, he tells them that they have one day to leave or they will die. This entire movie could have been resolved if he had just sat there and explained to them why they couldn't be there.
Yeah. He just had to be secretive and not tell them exactly what was going on.
Right. He was like, you just need to leave.
Yeah.
And they're just like, okay.
They're like, but why?
And then only after some events happened does he explain.
Yeah. And then they're just like, bro, why did you say anything earlier? Like, this is so like catastrophic. Why?
Then later that same night, while drunk, Evie explains to O'Connell that she loves Egypt because her father was an explorer who loved Egypt. He loved it so much that he married her mother, who was Egyptian. That's low key fetishization, but I digress.
Loki?
Mm, I'm being kind. I'm
Yeah,
being
yeah.
kind.
Yeah, because that doesn't explain her attraction
It does not.
to like if she had said like she loved like what her parents did for like the museum and loved looking at the antiques and stuff and wondered where they came from, then I'd accept it. But just the fact that her mom is Egyptian and her dad was an adventurer, I don't know if I don't know if I take that.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. She then proudly states that she is a librarian and tries to kiss O'Connell but falls asleep.
Yeah.
She was very drunk.
She was.
Even though I don't know how, she was only drinking like one like bottle of whatever she was drinking.
Yeah. Also, I love that she was also trying to learn how to fight at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Like, girl, you're probably not gonna remember any of this.
A lot happened that night. That night. The next day, the American group finds a cursed chest that will cause death to whoever opens it, and it will allow Imhotep to rise and be a plague onto this earth. That's literally what it says on the chest. And then they proceed to open the chest.
Yes. Like, even if you don't believe in all of that stuff, wouldn't that still like make you pause?
I mean, it would for me because I'm black. We don't do that stuff. We don't.
We don't mess with anything magic.
We don't play with Ouija boards. We don't go to psychics. We don't do none of that stuff.
No. Yeah, you hear something creeping in the house. That house is no longer yours.
Oh yeah, literally.
You are out.
Literally, a crow flew onto my front porch because my mother has a whole bunch of plants on our front porch now, and I thought about going to go buy some sage. No, I don't play.
Jordan's about to smudge his whole house, get rid of the bad juju.
Exactly.
He is not about this right now.
The only time I've felt like weird and like let it go was with my old TV. It used to just turn on by itself at like random times of the day, and I was like, okay, this ghost just wants to watch TV. I'll let it slide. Like nothing else was happening, and I was like, I'll let it slide. I think it was just a TV though, because I got this new TV like 2 years ago, and like nothing's happened.
Okay. Or maybe the ghost just went with the TV, like they were a package deal.
You're right.
And now that the TV's gone,
wherever the TV is, that's where the ghost is.
You just want the ghost just wants to watch TV. Let him watch TV.
That was his or her TV.
Yes. It was the ghost's TV.
Yeah. And so on the other half of the tomb, Evie's group opens Imhotep's tomb, and they see that his body is still decomposing 3,000 years later.
It's so gross.
And why is it not wrapped? It was wrapped when they put him in there. Why was it not wrapped?
Wasn't it? I don't know.
I found that very weird. I was like, why is this not wrapped?
And it's not like, oh, wait, but they put the Beatles in there with him.
The Beatles ate the whatever it's called.
The wrapping?
Wrapping?
I would think so, because they're flesh-eating beetles. I think they would eat everything.
Okay. I'll let that
Because I feel like that's the only explanation.
I'll let it slide.
That would work.
And then also inside of the sarcophagus, they see that there are scratches, because he was buried alive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long he was buried alive.
And how long
scratch.
Yeah, because wouldn't the Beatles have just killed him instantly?
Yeah, they say slowly. Like Evie says that they kill you slowly, but there's multiple instances of people getting devoured like immediately.
Yeah. Maybe if it's one of them,
are gone. There's nothing but bones.
Maybe it depends on the volume of scarabs that are put on you.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
wait, but they poured like a bucket full on.
yeah, it was like a
What's his
bucket
name?
full.
Yeah. Yeah. So somebody's wrong
Somebody's wrong.
about these beetles.
Or maybe the Beatles just like to change their mind.
Yeah.
There's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe they get one bite and they're like, this guy does not taste that good.
right, let's
We
just take
go
our time.
slowly. Yeah.
And
And
where
then
are
if
the
they find,
also there were no beetles in there.
oh yeah,
Like not even any dead ones.
like
Like
shells or anything. Yeah.
that was weird.
Yeah.
The American group looks inside of the cursed chest, you know, the one they weren't supposed to open.
Yeah.
And they find of the dead and some
Yes.
other treasures, but I think it's just an Oxynomode's like body parts.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just the containers where her organs are.
Her organs are, yeah. And so then that night, Evie tells everyone about the Hamdai and how that's the ritual that was used to kill Imhotep.
Yeah.
And then so she says that if the victim were to ever arise, they would bring with them the 10 plagues. Were there 10 plagues? I thought that was a Christian thing. And,
It is.
And I don't think there's 10 of them. I didn't look it up. But I feel like 10 is too many.
I feel like though when like the plagues start showing up in the movie, I feel like a lot of them happen at once.
Oh yeah, because like we start with locusts, and then from there, it's just like whoa, like everything is happening.
Everything turns into blood, and then like there's the I don't know, whatever's raining from heaven. Was that one of the?
Oh yeah, that's not a plague.
That's not a plague. Yeah, so
it's supposed to rain blood. That's the plague.
Yeah, yeah, and then locusts, and then disease.
Yeah, and then famine, and we never had famine though. But yeah,
and like every animal is like killed. Yeah, so maybe it's not the plagues. Maybe it's just disastrous. Like,
is it like a different plague? Are there Egyptian plagues that we are not aware of? We only know the Christian ones.
Yeah, we really do. We only know the ones, the Moses ones.
And then, so Evie then steals the Book of the Dead from Dr. Chamberlain while he is sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And she uses her key to open it and starts reading the incantation, and it awakens Imhotep.
Thanks, Evie.
I had a problem with this.
Okay.
So Dr. Chamberlain, as soon as she's like done reading it, immediately goes, "Don't read from the book." What was he planning on doing with the book? Was he not going to read it?
Right.
That made no sense to me. Like he seemed to know that this curse was real.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was very upset with Chamberlain. Like it made no sense to me why he was just sitting there, knew this curse was real, and then went through all the steps to enact the curse.
Right. Like, was he just no? But if he believed in it, then he wouldn't try to like bring it upon anybody.
But he obviously believed in it.
Yeah.
Like he opened the chest, even though he knew the chest was cursed. Yeah. He took the book. Probably with the intention of opening it, because otherwise, obviously, why would you take it?
Yeah. And it's not like you can display it, because if you display it and open it, somebody's going to want to read it.
Yeah, made no sense. So, yeah, when they open the book, this causes millions of locusts to start attacking them. So they all run inside of the tomb. While everyone is inside of the tomb, one of the Americans, his name is Burns.
Oh yeah, I was about to ask, does he have a name?
The other two, I couldn't find out what their names were. His name is Burns. He pulls a Velma and falls.
Yes.
And his glasses get knocked off his face, and then they get stepped on, and then apparently he is blind because he couldn't even walk through the hallways.
Yeah.
I'm blind. Like I am very blind, but I at least would have been able to make it through the hallways.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's not like when you need glasses and stuff like that for those people who don't have bad eyesight.
So, yeah, Burns is out for the count, falls. Emotep then attacks him
Yes.
while Evie, Jonathan, and O'Connell are walking a hallway. Hundreds of scarabs come out of the ground and chase after them. They get away from them, but Evie falls down a trap door.
As you do.
they're really pulling out the Scooby-Doo references in this movie.
Yeah, it's a
uh
mix of Scooby-Doo and like Indiana Jones.
yes. Uh and then she comes across Burns and sees that his eyes and tongue are gone.
Mm.
And then she comes face to face with Emotep, who seemingly thinks she's an Oxymon, even though she looks
Yeah.
nothing like her
Yeah, they don't look alike at all.
at all. And so Emotep thinks that Evie is an Oxymon and then wants her to come with him. But O'Connell and the surviving Americans shoot him, and then they all run out of the tomb. When they get out, they are confronted by the Magi and are told he will never stop killing, because they waited until after he came to
Yes.
life to explain who Emotep was and
Hmm.
why they didn't want people there.
Yeah. When they could have just done this on day one.
On day one,
Like
saves so much trouble.
it would have been the same movie if they like tried to explain to them and then they just did it anyway. And then they could have been the Magi could have shown up later and been like, we warned you, blah 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 blah. But no.
Yeah, they could have explained it and then given them a chance to at least believe them, even though they probably
Yeah.
wouldn't have.
Yeah. But it would still be a good movie, even if they
Yeah.
did give the explanation first.
And then so Benny is still inside of the tomb. And he comes face to face with Imhotep. And then after showing every single religious symbol on Earth, he
And
shows,
every like saying that goes with it.
yeah, and then he shows the Star of David and then starts
Hmm.
speaking in Hebrew. And so
Hmm.
Imhotep thinks he is a slave, a Jewish slave, and he lets
Yes.
him live.
And he lets him live. Benny should have died.
Yeah.
He really should have died.
And then they go back to the rest of the group goes back to Cairo, and O'Connell is trying to leave Egypt while
Hmm.
Evie wants to stay and stop Imhotep. O'Connell goes to the bar and he sees a man he knows named Winston who wishes he died in a blaze of aviation glory or whatever.
Because he's bored now.
He's just
That's
bored.
literally it.
He flies planes and he's bored, but like, okay.
Yeah, he's like, all my other friends died in glory. Now all I do every day is just nothing. I just fly the plane. I should have died with them.
Rich people problems.
Yeah, can't
Uh,
relate, but sure.
can't relate. I'm bored all the time, but like I don't want to die.
Right.
We then cut to Burns, who is being introduced to a Prince Emotep by Benny. Benny tells Burns that Emotep is here to consummate the curse, and Emotep takes every other organ from Burns' body, is everything, including
Yep.
his skin.
Poor Burns.
Because if you didn't know, your skin is an organ. The more you know.
Yes. Yes, it is. The more you know.
The more you know. Back at the bar, while everyone is drinking, their drinks turn to blood.
Which is
Very
actually
great.
one of the actual plagues.
Yes.
But everything else that they show, I
Not really. Like this
not
and the
really.
locusts,
Yeah.
and those people really turned into zombies. They didn't really get diseased, but
Yeah. Yeah,
we'll
so
say that.
we'll say they're infected with something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everything else, no idea.
It's like a hybrid of like leprosy and like zombieism.
Yeah.
And then so O'Connell realizes that Emotep is there, and he warns Evie before fire starts falling from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
They go upstairs and find Burns's mummified body and Emotep. O'Connell tries to shoot Emotep, but it doesn't work, because he's immortal. And he gets thrown across the room. Emotep goes to kiss Evie, but runs away when a cat comes into the room.
That would have been so musty.
Oh gosh, yes.
I
3,000-old skin smell.
And also the fact that like he's not complete.
Yeah.
He's got like that.
He has
that
those
thing.
holes.
Mm-hmm. And then the part that really freaked me out was when like the scarab beetle like crawled up him and into the hole, and then he just like ate it. And I was
Ate
like,
it.
"Ugh."
Yeah.
And then you try to kiss Evie with that mouth.
He eventually does get his
Gross.
kiss, though.
I know, but at least he's more full then.
He's still not complete when he
He's
kisses
not
her.
completely, but it's better than what's going on right now.
And then so Evie then asks who Anaximandrine is and why. Oh, I skipped something. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Evie, Jonathan, O'Connell, and the Americans go to Dr. B for help, and they see him talking to the leader of the Magi. Dr. B explains that he is a part of the Magi and that Emotep dislikes cats because they are the guardians of the underworld. But once he has regenerated, they will no longer scare him.
Mm-hmm.
Because cats are frightening for some reason.
Well, they have the goddess Bast. She's a cat goddess. She's super badass. So I mean, I get it.
I know nothing about Egypt at all. I just know there's pyramids and sand. I'm sorry, I'm American and I went to public school for half of my life.
I took a ancient civilizations class in college, so
I did too, but we did not talk about Egypt.
really.
Yeah, we talked
I think that's where we ended at our semester.
I think we talked about like the Americas and the Americas. Like we talked
really
about Aztecs, we talked about Native Americans. We did not talk about Egypt.
Oh yeah, mine was an American. It was like Egypt, Greece, Rome, the like tribe, the Mesopotamia, all that jazz.
Oh, I think we talked about Mesopotamia for a little while. We didn't really get into depth about it. He was kind of scatterbrained. Yeah, so Evie then asks who Anaximandrine is because he keeps calling her that.
Yeah.
And Dr. B says that Emotep wants to use Evie as a human sacrifice to raise her from the dead. They then gather all the people who opened up the chests, find out who's alive, how much time they still have. And then O'Connell locks Evie in her room and has the living Americans make sure that she doesn't leave.
I love how we have to call them the Americans.
Because they don't have names. They also don't have any brains. Like, they're not supposed to leave this room.
Yeah.
And they leave the room.
No thoughts. Head empty.
Just
guns.
Just guns.
Just guns.
Just like every other American. Just you open up their brain, all you hear is boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it's still hasn't changed.
No, not since 1939. Because it's 3 years later. 1939?
Yes. Yeah.
And then so we cut to Dr. Chamberlain, and he's on the streets of Cairo being chased by Emotep. O'Connell finds Benny snooping through their stuff and asks what he's looking for. And after roughing him up a little bit, not even that much, like he barely picks him up, and he starts singing like a canary.
Benny's a little bitch.
He's a little bitch. Benny tells O'Connell that Emotep wants the book. Benny then escapes somehow. Like, it literally made no sense how he escaped.
Little weasel.
because there's screaming on the street. Like, that's the only reason why Betty gets away.
Yeah.
And then so he jumps out of a window that's like 2 stories up. And then O'Connell and Jonathan look out the window and they see that Imhotep has killed Dr. Chamberlain. And then he causes locusts to attack all the people on the street for no reason.
Yeah.
Imhotep is just being evil just to be evil. Like, there's no
Yeah.
plan here. Like, there was no reason to attack those people.
He's just here to cause as much chaos as he can and resurrect his girlfriend.
Me when I drink.
You need to resurrect your girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And then so one of the men who was watching Evie goes to the bar while the other stays. And then he's like immediately killed by Imhotep. Like, for the other ones, like, Imhotep took his time. For him, he was like, I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah.
He literally
I'm a
lit
little
his...
bit. He's like, I'm a little bit behind schedule.
And I'm behind schedule. Like, I have a timetable I have to hit. Like, my boss is like hounding me. I gotta get this over with.
Yeah. He moved up the deadline. I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I would have loved to like drag this out a little bit, but sorry.
Time is money. And then so he kills this man, and then he goes into Evie's room and kisses her while she's sleeping. O'Connell then bursts into the room with a cat, and a Imhotep leaves. I don't know why they didn't constantly keep cats around them.
Yeah, why didn't they just keep the cat with her?
Like that.
Like, I understand cats are hard to like keep in one spot, but they could have just closed every window, every door, and just put the cat in there.
Yeah, or go buy a whole bunch of cats. Let them
Stuff
just
them in the room.
Stuff them in the room. Put a few of them at the perimeter, just to be safe.
Why not?
Then we go to another museum. I have no idea what this place was. It was huge. It looked like a castle, but there were like artifacts in there, so I'm gonna guess it was a museum.
Yeah, I think it's just a nicer museum in Cairo.
Yeah. And then so we never find out what it is. We're gonna call it a museum.
Yes.
And an army of people are chanting Imhotep. And they're like coming after them to kill them and to take Evie.
Mm-hmm.
While Evie is reading a tablet in the museum, she finds the location of the Book of the Dead and the Book of Amun-Ra were switched for some reason. Don't know how that happened. The locations of the 2 books were switched.
Oh, yes.
The Book of the Dead and the Book of Amun-Ra.
Maybe it's like Greenland and Iceland.
Oh, yeah. They were like, let's mess with some people.
Yeah. Y'all want to go find the Book of Death?
But I don't know. But I don't know why they would put the Book of the Dead, which can resurrect Imhotep, next to Imhotep, and not the book that could kill him next to him.
Yeah.
But
like, that would have made more sense.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not my thinking though. Like my common sense is not other people's common sense. So,
yeah.
You live in
different levels.
Different levels. And so she finds out that, and then they must go back to Hamunaptra to find the Book of Amun-Ra in the statue of Horus.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know who Horus is, but
Horus is Falcon head. He's like a warrior god.
I've seen that before. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And so they all drive away while they're being chased by the army of people. And after running over several people, it was so funny. Jonathan literally stopped the car. He was like, "What do I do?" I was literally in the back of my mind, like, "You keep going." Like, what do you mean?
You keep driving.
You think these people are gonna stop your car? Like, keep going.
Right. Like, you're gonna start feeling bad now.
And so they do run over the people. And then a couple of the army people are able to grab the last American. Uh,
Poor guys.
yeah. They grab him and then Imhotep kills him. And now he's fully resurrected, has all his
Yes.
powers now, looks normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Uh,
Yay. No more must.
it's and so the group is then cornered by the army, and Imhotep offers Evie's hand in return for her friends' lives. Evie agrees to go, and O'Connell tells Imhotep that he will be seeing him again.
Yes.
And then Imhotep sends the army after them to kill them.
Yes.
Because what else was he supposed to do?
Right. He was just supposed to be like, okay, good day.
He's supposed to take
Thank
that
you.
threat and just go.
Right. He's like, oh, I'll see you be seeing me later. Okay, that's nice.
He's like, you
Everybody,
won't.
let's pack up and go.
He's like, you won't, but okay.
You won't.
And then Dr. B sacrifices himself so that they can all escape.
Mm-hmm.
O'Connell then goes to Winston, who is literally sitting in the middle of the Egyptian desert listening to what was he listening? It sounded the music he was listening to sounded like a mixture of like reggaeton and mariachi music. It was very
Yeah. I don't know if there's a specific word for that, but
yeah,
that was the general vibe.
yeah, weird combo.
Mhm.
But you know, get it,
Yeah.
Winston. You live your life.
Live it.
And Winston, he's like, Winston, we need to go to Hamnatra. Winston's like, bet. Uh, while they're flying over, Imhotep sees the plane and sends a sandstorm to like knock them out of the sky. And so Evie kisses Imhotep to like distract him, and it works momentarily. But then
This is very Aladdin
yeah,
distracting
Jasmine
kiss.
with Jafar.
Jafar. It was just as musty.
Yeah. Oh, probably more. The plane still crashes though.
Yes.
And then Winston gets his magnificent death.
Yes, in some airplane glory.
Uh-huh.
Also, I never realized it.
I have a joke.
Okay.
It's not really a joke. It was more of something funny I noticed.
Okay.
So when Winston was laying there dead with like his goggles on
Mm-hmm.
and like the thing, he looked like Mr. Robotnik from Sonic.
Oh my gosh.
Like the mustache, the goggles. I was like, it's Mr. Robotnik.
It's the original.
The original
It's
Mr.
the original.
Robotnik.
He was the blueprint
The blueprint.
for the Sonic movie.
Someone was looking through historical photos and they were like, that's it.
That's the man.
That's our villain.
Mm-hmm.
That's who Jim Carrey will one day play.
Yes. Yep. They're like, you know who would be good for this? Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Spitting image.
The guy from The Mask? Yes.
Yes. Also, I never realized it, but a lot of people die in this movie.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people die in this movie.
Like half of the cast does.
Yeah, like when you're mentioning how many people have died so far, I'm like, bro, all of the Americans are gone.
There's only 4 people left.
Yeah, the only people that make it through are basically the 3 people that we start out with, and the bad guy.
Yeah. And then, so yeah, they're all alive. Inside the tomb, Jonathan finds one of the petrified scarabs, and it like bursts out of its shell and goes into his body, and O'Connell has to cut it out.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yike.
So much fun. The shot is heard, of course, because it's a gunshot inside of a tomb. Echoes. Yes. And it warns Imhotep that O'Connell is alive. And so he sends 2 of his mummified priests to wake the others and to kill them. While searching the tomb, the group comes upon a room full of treasure and are attacked by the mummified priests. And while this is happening, we cut to Evie, and she's chained to an altar and laying next to Anaxunamon's body. While...
Gross.
Yeah, it's very gross. I would like simply let me die now.
Yeah.
I don't want to lay
Yeah.
next to this 3,000-year-old corpse.
Yeah. I would have been like, you know what? I'll take myself out.
Yeah, I'll
I'll
just stop
do it.
breathing.
Yeah. I'll force myself.
Um, yeah, and so O'Connell and Jonathan are fighting the priest, and then they happen upon the statue of Horus. How that happened, who knows? Um, Inside the statue, they find the book of Amnon Ra, and Jonathan and O'Connell go to kill Imhotep while the Magi leader fights the mummies. He like sacrifices himself,
Yeah.
which
A lot of sacrificing.
there's a lot of people of color sacrificing themselves for these people,
Yes.
but you know,
Like
uh,
all the white people, they just get killed.
yeah,
But like every sacrifice for the good of like Jonathan and O'Connell.
yeah, it's done by
Always
people of
Pac.
color. Yeah, this isn't the most egregious case of this I've seen.
It's not.
Have you seen Freddy versus Jason? That was the
I
worst.
haven't.
That was the worst I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really?
I'll just tell you now.
Okay.
Wait, no, I'll save it in case we watch it. Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay.
So, he goes off with the mummies to fight them. We then cut to Benny, who is raiding the treasure room. He lays on a bag. He lays a bag of something. Whoa, I skipped way too far.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Where are you right now,
I have
man?
no idea what just happened. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put
Let
some
me put some boom in it.
uh here we go. Imhotep starts the ritual and awakens Anaxunamun's mummified body. Jonathan goes to open the book while O'Connell frees Evie and fights the mummies inside the room. Jonathan reads the inscription on the front of the book, and it causes more mummies to come out that are like a hive mind. I didn't understand
Yeah.
what was happening there.
Yeah. But yeah, hive mind is accurate.
Yeah. And then Evie tells him that he has to finish reading it so that he can control them, because right now Imhotep is in control of them for some reason. It's never explained why.
Yeah.
Because these are a different set of mummies.
Yeah, it's not like they're his mummies.
Yeah.
They're just mummies in general.
Yeah. Where they came from, who knows?
Yes.
And then so O'Connell is fighting Imhotep. Evie's fighting Anaxunamun.
There's a lot of fighting going
There's
on
a lot
right
of fighting. Jonathan's trying to figure out what this bird means.
Yes. He's literally just trying to read the book.
And then he tells it to Evie while she's fighting, and she's like, this is what it is. And so he's able to finish the inscription.
I love how she has enough brain power to like
fight and
to
remember.
fight and remember hieroglyphics.
Yeah. And then so Jonathan is now in charge of the mummies and has them re-kill Anaxunamun.
Yes. Yes.
We're gonna say re-kill. Imhotep tries to kill Jonathan, but O'Connell cuts off his arm and fights with him while Jonathan and Evie open and read the inscription to kill Imhotep. It does not kill him. It just causes a chariot to come out and either take his soul or his immortality. It's not really explained.
Yeah. I would think his soul though.
Because he's still very much alive after it happens. You just see like a shadow of himself get dragged off.
Yeah.
And so Imhotep is pissed now. And so he comes towards O'Connell to like fight him. And then now that Imhotep is immortal, he can be killed. And so O'Connell just stabs him.
Yeah. All that build up.
And then he finally dies. He goes into a pool of what looks like tar. Yes. And becomes a mummy again. And And then before he like dies, he says death isn't the end or something like that.
Yeah. Something ominous.
Even though he's died twice, so it like makes
Yes.
no sense. But yeah.
Yeah.
Then we cut to Benny, who is raiding the treasure room. He lays a bag onto something that causes the tomb to start like collapsing. And then he has to leave behind his treasure because it's slowing him down.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't leave it behind fast enough because the treasure room, like closes.
Yeah.
And then it starts sinking, which causes the ceilings to come in, and it crushes the mirrors that were giving sunlight, and so it starts to turn dark, but not before a shit ton of scarabs start coming out.
Yep.
And he tries to fight them off as best he can with his little torch he has. But eventually the torch goes out, it turns black, and then we hear him scream because he's dying.
That was like the best death. Like cinematically.
Yes.
Like it's so good.
Everyone
Also, Benny deserved it.
He deserved it. He deserved a slower death, actually. There were too many beetles. He probably got ate very quickly. I would have liked it if there were just 2 beetles in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope the beetles took one bite of him and they're like, you know what?
Let's take our time.
Let's take our time. We can celebrate a whole week. Let's just slowly munch.
Yeah. He was
slowly.
Like, they just look over to each other like, guys, we're going back underground. We need to savor this.
Yes. Yeah. This will be our last meal for a very long time.
We have to ration.
So let's just, yes, we are rationing. And one of the other beetles comes in like, no, let's just eat him really fast. And then another one chimes in, that's the little bitch who was with Imhotep. Eat him slower.
Imhotep ate my brother.
My brother was put in with Imhotep. And he was risen again. Justice for my scarab brothers.
Justice. Rise, my scarab brothers.
Rise.
And so O'Connell, Evie, and Jonathan run out of the city before it sinks into the sand.
Yeah.
The Magi leader, who somehow escaped, meets them outside, and he thanks them for defeating Imhotep. And then Evie and O'Connell finally get their proper kiss.
Yay!
And the 3 of them ride their camels off into the sunset with the treasure that Benny was able to get out of the tomb before he died. So they got the money.
Yeah.
O'Connell and Evie got their relationship.
Right.
Happy ending for the white people.
Yeah.
And I guess the planet. Like,
yeah. That's lower on the list, but you know.
Yeah. Are you ready for the movie facts?
Yes.
I have quite a few.
Okay.
This movie has some good movie facts.
Hey, let's go.
Brendan Fraser almost died during the scene where his character is hung.
Really?
Yes. The Rachel Weisz, who played Evie, remembered that he stopped breathing and had to be resuscitated.
Oh my gosh.
Fine.
How did that even happen?
They probably actually hung him. They probably put like a light wire on like his back and like it wasn't strong enough to hold and he was actually being hung. Probably.
Oh my gosh. Because they usually like strap you up like a backpack and then have the main rope from your back so that when the rope goes down, there's no pressure on your neck.
This was 1999. Probably 1998.
Yeah.
This was pre 9/11. Things were much different.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Man's literally died. His character survived, but Brendan Fraser almost didn't. That's insane.
And so, the second one, the white nightgown that Evie wore when the ship was being attacked was transparent when it got wet, and so they had to digitally repaint it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Sheesh, what did they expect?
Who knows?
White gown, get
They
it
almost
wet.
killed their lead actor. They obviously weren't thinking
That's
that
true.
well.
That's true. Wow. Imagine.
The Magi were originally supposed to be tattooed from head to toe,
Oh.
but the director vetoed it because he thought the man who played the Magi leader was too good looking to be covered in tattoos.
Oh my gosh.
He
What
was not wrong.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's not.
He's a very attractive man.
He's very attractive. Bro, like imagine having Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, and I don't know his real name, but him
His real
covered in
name is Oded Fear.
Oded Fear.
Uh-huh.
Him covered in tattoos. They would have been the hottest cast. Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Damn, they should have put him in tattoos.
Do you want to guess some of the people who were considered to play O'Connell?
Oh no. Is it like people that they should not be anywhere near this role?
I think one of these people would have been okay.
Oh, okay. How many people?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, you got a list.
6. One of these people, I have no idea who they are, but
Oh, okay. I don't know. Who was big in the 90s? Are they like big actors?
yeah, they're all big actors except for this one person who I have no idea who they are.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Give me the one that you don't know.
Chris O'Donnell. I have no idea who that is.
Chris O'Donnell? Yeah, I don't know who that is either. Ooh, but everybody else though.
Everyone else is big.
Everyone else is big?
Yeah.
Bruce Willis.
No.
No? Okay. Brad Pitt, was he big in the 90s?
Yes, and he is on here.
He's on there? Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Okay. Johnny
Just
Depp?
4 more. No.
Johnny Depp? No. I don't
How
know.
did you
Who
make
else?
that sound with your mouth? That sounded like a cat.
I don't know. Who else? Tell me.
Okay. I'll save one of them for last.
Okay.
Matt Damon.
Oh, I should have said Matt Damon.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck?
Yeah, he is not the person I thought would have been good. I thought Brad Pitt would be okay in this role.
Yeah, Brad Pitt would be okay. He could give like the little like humor in it. Are you about to say Matthew McConaughey?
Matthew McConaughey.
No.
Are you ready for the last one?
Maybe yes.
Tom Cruise.
I was thinking about it and I didn't want to say it.
Tom Cruise, who would later star in the reboot.
Is that why he was called upon for the reboot? Because they didn't get him for the originals?
Who knows?
Oh.
Tom Cruise should just stick to the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah,
that's what he does best.
That's his best. But Matthew McConaughey, though, imagine him with the accent.
Awful. That would have been awful.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been really funny, but it would have been terrible.
Terrible.
Brendan Fraser was the obvious choice for this role.
Yes. Great pick.
Great pick.
Do you have any recommendations for this week?
You forgot something? You forgot something?
Did I? Oh, yes. Is this movie iconic?
The whole reason for this podcast out the window.
You forgot one week.
Did I?
You forgot so much that it wasn't in the episode.
Oops. Maybe I should just write it down in my like movie facts and stuff like that so I don't forget. Yes, this movie's iconic. I love this movie.
I agree. It's very cheesy.
It's very cheesy. It's got the romance, it's got the action, it's got the adventure. It's got Egyptology, which is Well, kind of Egyptology.
Yeah, kind of.
It's still good though.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
Great movie. I like the second one better, but yeah. Oh, I forgot
Oh,
a
you like the
movie.
second one better?
I do. I forgot another movie fact.
Okay.
There is a The Mummy ride at every single Universal Studios.
Oh, is there really?
Yes. There's one in
Every single one.
Hollywood, one in Florida, one in, I think it's Tokyo.
Oh,
Not Tokyo, Jordan. Oh my gosh.
where?
Where is it?
Is it an Asian country?
It is an Asian country.
Okay, what does it start with?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just know there's one there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it literally is Japan. I'm so stoned.
Oh.
There we go. Yay. Okay. Yeah.
Yay!
There
Here we
is
go.
a Mummy ride at every Universal Studios. And next time you're at Universal Studios, ride the Mummy.
Yeah. I haven't been to Universal Studios in years. And I think
Great
think
place.
I rode the Mummy when I was there last though.
Great place. Great place. Great ride. So now it's time for your recommendations.
Now it's time for I have 2 recommendations this week. My first one is a Korean drama on Netflix called Startup. I rewatched it. So good. Check it out. It's one of those like Netflix ones. Netflix is coming out with a lot of Korean dramas. Some of them are good, some of them are but this one's really good. Check it out. And then my next one is a YouTube channel. I'm trying to remember. Okay, yes. The channel is called The First Take. And it's basically getting a bunch of Japanese musicians and performing their most popular songs in one take.
Oh, okay.
Like live. It's really funny because sometimes they'll like you can see them mess up. Because some of the songs that I do know, and like when you see them mess up, it's kind of funny. Because like they look at each other, but they like have to keep going because it's live. It's amazing.
That sounds
Check
great.
it out.
So for me, I have a couple. My first one is the song Division by Ali and AJ. Love that song. Great song. Please listen to it. You can actually listen to the entire Insomniatic album, but that song in particular is great. Another song, Met Him Last Night by Demi Lovato and Ariana Grande. It's off of Demi Lovato's new album. It's great. Listen to it. It's a great song. My last one. So this comes with a story. So
okay.
I love Hulu. Hulu does not do me wrong. So for months it has been recommending a show for me, and I just have not been doing it. But then on Friday I was like, fine.
You caved?
I caved. The show is called Dollhouse. It is excellent. So I'm sitting there on Friday morning at 8 a.m. I start the show. I finished the first season that night. 13 hours of television. Okay,
let's go.
I spent all day watching Dollhouse.
So it was that good?
Yes. There's only 2 seasons. I'm literally before we started this recording, I started the last episode
of season 2.
Yes.
Wow. You ate up that. Let's go.
Excellent TV. I wish there was more. This is the last episode of the series. I'm going to cry when it ends.
Oh no.
Great show. It is by Joss Whedon. Yeah. I don't know what to say. The man makes excellent television because Buffy the
Yeah.
Vampire Slayer is
Yeah.
great. This show is great. It even has some people from Buffy in it.
Really?
Yeah, the girl who plays Faith is the lead of this show.
No way.
She is the
That's
weakest. She
cool.
is the weakest actress on the show, but I forgive it. Her
Okay.
co-stars are acting circles around her, Kelly. I don't know.
Oh no, they're out acting
Because
her.
it's a show about this agency that takes like young hot people who have like problems in their life
Uh-huh.
and gives them a 5-year contract that they sign,
Uh-huh.
and then they become something called a doll or an active, and their memories are wiped, and then they get imprinted with memories of other people, and they're able to do other skills, speak other languages, stuff
Oh,
like
that's
that.
cool.
It's great. So since her acting is limited, she barely gets any cool
Oh.
imprint. They just give her a lot of fighting imprints.
Oh,
Her
okay.
co-stars, they get accents, they get different languages. I'm like, girl, why are you here? They
Uh-oh.
could have recast her with someone else and the show would have
Yeah.
been that much better, but it's still a great show. I the show is ending and I'm very sad, but it's gonna be fine.
You're gonna be okay?
I'm gonna be okay. I think it's a
Okay.
complete ending.
Oh,
I
good.
I think it's a complete ending. It seems like it is. So, yay. But that's it for me. Everyone watched Dollhouse. Great show. I
Jordan's
can't
Hulu recommendations have not missed.
can't recommend it more. You will
Regret
not
it.
love this show. It is great television. If they could somehow bring it back, I would be happy. Just don't involve Joss Whedon. He does not deserve any money.
He does not deserve any
But
money.
yeah. So thank you for listening. I know this was a long episode. There was probably some background noise because the man
Yeah.
was working on my house. So yeah. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. We have a Twitter and an
Yeah.
Instagram. They're both at SY2II Podcast. Send us your movie requests, your movie stories. Did you watch this movie
Mm-hmm.
in theaters when it first came out?
Yeah.
I know I didn't because I was 2, but you know,
Yeah.
a boy can dream.
Yeah.
Have you been on the Mummy ride? Let us know how that was.
Right. Did you actually, oh wait, yeah. Did you go on the that one time when they had the mummy maze in Universal and you went as a kid and then you cried the whole time because it was scary to you? Or is
Wow,
that just
Kelly,
me?
that was very specific. Wow, that was
May or may not have happened to me.
I've only been 4 times in my life. Once when I was a baby, once with my family, once with Sabrina. I, I don't remember that maze, but you know, yeah.
I think it was for like a limited time because
Okay.
I don't think it was there the second time I've been. But yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I was traumatized.
The only maze I went to at Universal Studios was the Walking Dead one, and
Oh.
that was a story. Oh
Mm.
gosh, I took Sabrina in there.
Oh no.
That was a wild ride. Uh, um, share us with your family and your friends.
Yeah.
Subscribe to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or whatever
Well,
you listen
yeah,
to us on.
wherever.
Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It really
Yes,
helps us out.
please.
Don't forget to wear your mask.
Mm-hmm.
Cases are apparently going up in some states.
Oof.
Who would know that removing mask mandates was a bad idea?
Who
Just
would have
because
thunk it?
your governor says you don't have to wear masks anymore does not mean you don't have to wear a mask
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Listen to sciences.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you'll be better for it.
Yeah, just because they're in a higher position than you does not mean they're smarter.
Yeah.
They're not always smarter.
Do they have something to gain from this?
Yeah.
Like our governor is currently starting to like open things up faster than I think he should because people are trying to kick him out of office. But you know, that's just a theory. I could be wrong, but I'm not. Uh, also, don't forget to wash your hands.
Yes, and your mask.
When I went to the zip lining place, there was this guy in the bathroom who not only was not wearing a mask, but also washed his hands for like 2.5 seconds. Don't even know if he put soap on them.
Ew.
We're literally in the middle of a pandemic and people still aren't washing their hands properly. So I've lost all faith in humanity.
Yeah, like
that's why I got vaccinated. So I don't have to worry about y'all.
Yeah. Like if you weren't properly washing your hands before this, gross.
Yes.
But also if you're still not,
weakest link. Weakest
link.
Yeah, so just stay iconic.
Yeah, please stay iconic, y'all.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.